So today, the Mazda BT-50 is actually a very special model for Mazda. Why? Because in their current lineup, you can see some really sporty models. You got the MX-5, the Mazda 3s, even the CX-60, their SUV looks really sporty. So where does a truck fit in all of those models? Well, that's what we're going to take a look at right now. What's going on, guys? Roy Robles here from Zigwheels.Ph, and today we'll be taking a look at the 2025 version of what I believe is one of the sportiest trucks out there, the Mazda BT-50. Last time I saw the Mazda BT-50 was about 3 years ago when we reviewed the Mazda BT-50 4x2. You can check out the description box below for a link to that video. And right now, they've refreshed it and updated it for 2025 to feature some really nice details. I mean, guys, you will not imagine how many changes there is right here. Probably should just call this a new model, but anyway, let's start with the front grille. You've got this blacked out piano black grille with some interesting design patterns that kind of mimic some sort of mesh material, but looks really aggressive. Now, have you noticed something? They've got this huge Mazda badge right there in the front. I mean, this is probably one of the biggest Mazda badges I've ever seen, ever. Really, I mean, look at my hand right there. It's bigger than my hand, probably bigger than my face. No, nothing's bigger than my face. But anyway, we got that right there. You got this nice wing type design that covers the bottom of the grille. It is adorned in piano black, which does create a nice contrast with this red body color, and I like it. You got some lower skid plates right here at the bottom. This is made of plastic, but I think it looks really handsome, especially with this particular model, this particular look. But don't worry, there is a bash plate underneath to protect your engine if you do want to go out off-roading or anything that's out on the road right here. Some more changes right here is the headlamp design. It kind of mimics a lot of the current Mazda models, especially the CX-60, and it looks really nice. You got these DRLs right here inside, smoked out look, I love it, and LED fog lamps as well. You even have some side air vents on each side to help out with ventilation. And have you noticed the nice camera right here? That's right, the Mazda BT-50 now has a 360-degree camera system that helps out with driving this huge hulking truck from Mazda, and I think it really looks great. I mean, you love this hood right here. You got this nice creases, one on each side, giving that sporty look that I was talking about. I mean, some other trucks would probably go for the rugged, macho look. This one goes for the sporty look. I mean, this definitely looks like it can go really fast. You got some 2 cameras on top that helps out with the advanced driver assist system. We'll be talking about that later on. You got some new 18-inch alloy wheels. Those are diamond cut, by the way. You got 2-tone alloy wheels. It looks really nice. A really chunky step board right here. The 240 millimeters of ground clearance, so it's gonna handle whatever you throw at it, no matter where you go. With the top of the line 4x4 variant, you got these chrome door handles. I would just go ahead and wish this was just piano black, but it is what it is. You get those chrome door handles right there and piano black over fenders on the front and in the back. One thing that you might notice is that Mazda is introducing its new pangolin badge right here. It looks so cute, kind of looks like Sandshrew from Pokemon. But this is starting to be their standard look for the pangolin badge. It really looks nice and iconic if you ask me. You even have this fashion bar right here. This is not going to be of any use except for completing the overall look. Plus, with a 4x4, you get these blacked out roof rails on top as well. So right here in the back, the Mazda BT-50 4x4 Pangolin even features more changes as opposed to the outgoing model. Right here in the tailgate, you see some ridged edge design, giving it a little bit more flair and off-road appeal. Plus, you got the new LED tail lamp cluster right there, and most especially, this rolling shutter on top, which comes standard, by the way, with the BT-50 4x4. You still have your camera integrated into the door handle right here. Now, right here, the tailgate is assisted. How assisted, you might ask? It's as easy as just pulling it up like that and even closing it down. This is the most effortless tailgate I've ever experienced. And inside, you got this nice bed liner, which again comes as standard, and you've got some cargo hooks as well. Pretty nice and pretty sweet. As far as trucks go, the Mazda BT-50 on the outside pretty much looks like any other Mazda vehicle. It fits with the entire aesthetic of the Mazda design philosophy, and I really like it. Now let's take a look at the 4x2 variant. Now, don't cut the 4x2 short. I mean, it does have a couple of other exciting features that you might actually love. You got this matted out grille, which in my opinion kind of looks better, to me at least. You got the same 360-degree camera system. You get smaller wheels, 17-inch alloy wheels this time around, but since it's not diamond cut or two-tone, I actually prefer this wheels. You got a lower ground clearance, 235 as compared to 240. You lose the sports bar right here in the back, but that's just for show anyway. Still have disc brakes up front and drum brakes right here in the rear, but as I mentioned, it still has the same stuff. You got the same assisted tailgate. You've got this bed liner right here, the same ridged out trunk or tailgate as well. And inside the Mazda BT-50 4x2, you still have a nice looking interior. You got this two-tone scheme on the seats, leather seats, but with this suede looking material, as well as this what they call terracotta. I see red, but this looks kind of brownish as well. The same dual stacked glove box with the same ridges here, soft touch materials. You get a smaller touchscreen infotainment system here, but that's no worry. It's still nice interface, and you lose the 7-inch multi-information display. Instead of getting a black headliner, you got this cream or grayish color headliner on top. You're really not losing much if you get the 4x2 variant of the Mazda BT-50. So for starters, you've got this nice soft touch leather material on top of the dashboard right here. The biggest change that I see right here inside is this nice 9-inch touchscreen infotainment system with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. You even have a physical volume knob and tuning knob on each side. They're nice and tactile. There you go. They won't make that sound that you hear when you're turning a volume knob, but I mean, it's nice and all good. You got some capacitive buttons at the bottom as well, which is makes it easy to navigate through the system. But enough of that. I just love how this looks. It powers 8 speakers inside, so you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8. You see here. You got some extra speakers on top, giving you that surround sound that a lot of people appreciate. Now, not much really has changed over the outgoing model. Still have the same nice looking steering wheel. You got your cruise control buttons right here on the side, on the right side, and volume on the left. But you do have this new 7-inch multi-information display in the middle, giving you all the information you need during your drive. You also have this new upper glove box right here that has the same ridge design as the tailgate. You have USB-C ports right here in the bottom of the dash. You have a USB-C port right there and a 15-watt wireless charger, but don't forget about the 12-volt socket. It is still right there. You have a shift on the fly dial right here going for 2H, 4H, and 4L. And no, you can say goodbye to blank buttons right here on the shift knob because it's complete with all the buttons that you need. You got your rough terrain mode button, a rear differential lock button. It's important for 4x4 enthusiasts, and apparently heated seats. I wish this were cooled seats, but it is what it is, and I'm glad that they were at least able to fill up these buttons right here. You got parking sensors and hill descent control as well. The Mazda BT-50 still has this manual parking brake, which is nice. I mean, you're driving a huge hulking and rugged truck, and I like it that you have that peace of mind that you know you've actually parked your vehicle with that nice, satisfying sound. 2 cup holders are available here as well, and a huge center console underneath this arm pad. All right. What I appreciate here, though, is the lack of piano black in the middle here of the center console. So no fingerprints there, but you do have piano black on the side right here of the door card. Now, the difference between the interior of the Mazda BT-50 4x4 Pangolin and the 4x2 are the seats. While these feature this blacked out leather seats with perforations on the middle, the BT-50 4x2 features a red, or they call it terracotta, and black suede. So you got black and red interior, but it still has this nice suede feel to it. So even if you're getting the lower model, supposedly the lower model, you still have a good looking interior. Feels pretty sporty and will not be out of place if you bring it, use it as your daily, bring it to offices, use it for dates. Yep, that is a good family car right there. All right, so the steering wheel is still adjustable for both reach and rake. All right, let's take a look at the second row seats and see how I fit there. I mean, you're going to use a truck for the family or for everyday use, and you're going to lack some, you're going to at least sacrifice some cargo space for that huge bed. Let's see how it works out for the second row. Getting in and out of the Mazda BT-50 is easy because of these grab handles on each side, plus that chunky looking stepboard that I mentioned earlier, even though it has an extended 240 millimeters of ground clearance. And right here in the back, you have a solitary USB-C port, a small card cubby hold there, a shelf for smaller items, and two aircon vents. You even have a hook right here to put your bag, probably if you don't want to put your bag on a dirty floor. You can just hang it up right there, and two map pockets. I like to see the seats are sculpted in a way to mimic the front seats, so at least they're not going to be as flat as other pickup trucks out there. They still hug the contours of your body to create a sense of ergonomics at least. Plus you have a center armrest with two extra cup holders. You got a lot of space for your knees and your feet, and even headroom. This is a good place to be in. I mean, usually for trucks, I would sit in a sort of stadium-like feel where it's higher than the front passengers and the driver, giving you all that weird looks. But here, it's comfortable, and I can see myself riding this if I were to be driven in a Mazda BT-50. All right, let's take the Mazda BT-50 4x4 pangolin out for a drive because I want to see how this performs. The only difference between the drivetrain of this and the 4x2 is the fact that this has a 4x4 system, so they pretty much will be riding the same in the city. So let's take this out for a spin. All right, so we're now behind the wheel of the Mazda BT-50 4x4 pangolin. Now, if you're wondering what happened to the regular 4x4 automatic, they've now upgraded, or they now moved up the Pangolin edition to be the top of the line variant of this truck. And boy, I gotta say, this is driving around in a huge displacement diesel definitely feels great. I mean, with all the other diesel trucks these days seemingly down rating their engines, it's refreshing to be driving around in a big displacement truck. Pretty much like an Isuzu. I mean, I'm going to go ahead and mention it. It's because Mazda doesn't really have its own truck right now. They do have the CX-60, which is an SUV, but for trucks, they've actually relied on their partner Isuzu to get one for them. So if you're ever going to rely on someone to build a truck for you, might as well make it the masters of diesel, right? Okay, let's start with the specs. You got a 3-liter turbocharged diesel under the hood that makes 190 horsepower and 450 newton meters of torque. And it definitely goes to the rear wheels with so much gusto because of a nicely tuned 6-speed automatic transmission. And it does handle quite well. Pretty heavy, but at least you get a lot of road feel on this one. The Mazda BT-50 4x4 automatic pangolin actually runs on all-terrain tires, so you feel a lot of the road right here, unlike of course the 4x2 right there that runs on highway tires. Definitely is a smoother experience, but for the sacrifice that you get for getting those all-terrain tires when it comes to NVH, it actually more than makes up for it whenever you're going through some less than ideal roads. For brakes, you do have a disc brakes in the front and drum brakes in the rear. Now, some people might be asking, why don't they just give this 4-wheel disc brakes? Well, the truth is, it's a truck, right? So for a truck, you're not really going to take this on a track going really fast, so it doesn't really need rear disc brakes. It does have a dual wishbone independent suspension right there in the front, and leaf springs right there in the back. Now, of course, what that's going to do is that it's not going to be the smoothest ride out there, but it helps the Mazda BT-50 and the BT-50 4x4 and the 4x2 have increased loading and towing capacity. And for a truck, that's what you want anyway. Or unless, of course, you want to bring in a car with no cargo space and a bed. So what's the purpose of that? So they know what a truck is for. They know what truck fans want, and they give what truck fans get. This is definitely this is a good feeling truck. At least Mazda was able to tune at least a suspension to give it more give. It's more comfortable inside, surprisingly, for a leaf spring suspension right there in the back. So you can hear a little bit of the engine clatter, or diesel clatter coming in, permeating through the cabin, but it's fine. It's absolutely fine. Visibility is also great. One thing different about the Mazda BT-50, apart from the other trucks, is that it's got some extra fenders right there on the front there. You can actually see the hood, and you can surmise where you are and where the Mazda BT-50 is in space. So yeah, it's a diesel truck, and you will hear a little bit of vibration and harshness, especially when you're driving, but you know what to expect with these kinds of trucks anyway. So safety features include your standard bits. You got your airbags, electronic brake force distribution, and ABS. Yeah, you got all that. But it does have advanced driver assist system. So this truck has adaptive cruise control. That's what you guys want to know and hear about anyway. It's got adaptive cruise control. It's got a 360-degree camera. It's got lane keep assist, lane departure warning, forward collision mitigation system. It also has a system to avoid sudden unintended acceleration. So if it realizes that you're going straight without even you knowing it, it'll stop the vehicle in its tracks. It also has rear cross traffic alert and rear emergency braking. And one thing that's interesting about this is that it also has multi-braking system. What is that? So what happens is that if you get into an accident and you'd be disabilitated, of course, once you get in an accident, you'll be in shock. The Mazda BT-50 will automatically stop itself to avoid any further accidents on the road. So that's something that I didn't know I needed, but it's right there. Now, don't sell the Mazda BT-50 4x2 short. It's got a lot of safety features as well. It even has the same 360-degree camera system right there. I mean, yeah, you got a 360-degree camera system in a entry-level 4x2 pickup truck, and the Mazda BT-50 4x2 has that as well, which is nice. At least the Mazda Philippines was able to add a little bit more value to their vehicles. Pricing for the Mazda BT-50 starts at 1,550,000 pesos for the 4x2 automatic. And if you want to get this version, the 4x4 automatic pangolin, this one starts at 1,850,000 pesos, which is quite an amazing deal if you factor in all the standard stuff that you're getting. Remember, we did a walk around on this. Everything that you saw, you will get with the 4x4 automatic pangolin. And it gets even better. I mean, you've got your standard 5-year warranty, sure, but Mazda ups the ante by giving you a worry-free 5-year ownership experience by giving you free PMS, free service. Everything's going to be free for your Mazda vehicle. The Mazda BT-50 is not going to be an exception. So if you add all that up, considering that you've got some extended expenses, considering that this is a diesel vehicle, that will be a huge savings. So even if you compare this to comparable vehicles of other brands, the value that you're getting out of this is just absurd. I mean, it's a no-brainer if you ask me. So if you're in the market for the Mazda BT-50, whether 4x4 or 4x2, you're going to be in good hands when it comes to Mazda Philippines. This is probably the car that they need in the market today if they need to start selling some more vehicles. This is great. So that's our first look of the Mazda BT-50 4x4 Pangolin, the top of the line model, and the 4x2 variant, which is definitely quite a sleeper. And I think this is definitely going to be a winner for Mazda, especially for truck crazy diesel fans out there. And if you're looking for a truck that can go either off-roading or adventure, or something that's more suited whenever you're, go on office meetings or probably a date or something, these things you cannot lose. But what do you think? Drop me a comment in the comment section down below, and while you're at it, subscribe to our channel and hit that notification icon so you wouldn't miss any of our videos. This has been Roy Roberts from Zigwheels.Ph. See you guys next time.